Hello and welcome to the Comic Cave. I'm Ramsey, aka Captain Away, and today we're looking at some more comic book Kickstarters. First up is the project I might be most excited about, Foulbrood. Last month I mentioned I was bothered that I was letting Kickstarter projects go by without saying anything. Well, Foulbrood 1 and 2 was pretty much what I was talking about. There were a couple other things, but mostly it was Foulbrood that got me wanting to talk Kickstarters. And why am I so excited? Well, mostly because the creative team, which consists of writer Christopher Sabella and artist Claire Rowe. Sabella wrote Welcome Back, which I covered on the channel before and found pretty enjoyable. Although you might be more familiar with him for his comic Crowded. Rowe also worked on Welcome Back, and we've seen her wonderful pencils on the channel in Bury the Lead and one of my all-time personal faves, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. She has very quickly become one of my favorite comic artists, so I'm always excited to see more comics from her. The comic itself is an interesting blend of genres with a plot involving a thief stealing beehives of all things, a local crime family, some bored detectives, and the beekeeper whose hives were stolen seeking revenge. It's definitely a comic unlike any other out there, so be sure to check it out before the campaign ends on October 13th. Maybe you can grab one of those Claire Rowe commissions, that would be extra sweet. Moving on, we've got Zombies, We're Human too. It's not just a slogan on a 90s Hot Topic t-shirt anymore, now it's a comic book too. Also, I guess they do mean we're and not were, cause they wrote we're. ZWHT is, as you can probably guess, a comic about zombies. Shocker, I know. Austin Jankowski, who is running the campaign, has had several in this series before, and they've been about how people turned into zombies, so aptly named. This is the latest, and I don't have much to say about it other than that one of the stories is written by a guy who acted in season 2 of Stranger Things, apparently. I mean, I don't recognize him, but I don't really remember that season very well. Maybe you Stranger heads out there can be excited about that. Also, I couldn't really pass up mentioning a comic that compared its horror to Goosebumps. Cause you know where Stein stands on this channel. Their campaign ends October 3rd, so you better hurry if you want to join in on the zombie fun. Next, I wanted to mention Grandma Chainsaw. That's right, another horror comedy comic that's a slasher, this one about a grandma that kills people with a chainsaw. Like the title says. Do I really need to say any more than that? The creators for this comic have already kickstarted and delivered 4 issues of a series called Pocus Hocus, and you can add that to pledges for this comic. Plus, you can get yourself drawn into a portrait with Evil Grandma. That's fun! This campaign ends October 21st if you're interested. Last up, we have another board game, this time a game called Age of Comics, The Golden Years. Man, if I had this game, I would never be able to stop singing Bowie. Why would you do that to me, Larius Games? The game is a worker placement style game where you place out an editor meeple to a location to take that action. Actions like hiring writers and artists, coming up with ideas, or sending your salesman out to create buzz. With everyone competing to publish the best comic books with the biggest audience and make the most money. All set in the exciting days of the so-called golden age of comic books, which started pretty much with the release of Action Comics #1 and continuing, debatably, up until about 1960 or so. It looks like a complicated game, I realize, but you can try it out yourself on Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia. And once you start playing, I feel it gets pretty easy to figure out. I've been playing it myself some in what little free time I've had over the past couple months, and I really like the feel of it. One of my favorite things is how, unlike in other worker placement games where only one person can go to any location per round, multiple people can go to the same location on a round in this game, with decreasing benefits for those who don't make it there first. It reminds me a lot of the follow mechanic from Reavers of Midgard or the increasing cost in Flamecraft. And I think that'll probably be the future of worker placement games. So good on Larius Games for getting ahead on that curve, though I do kind of wish it somehow affected the game a little bit more than it does. Also, I have to note that last month I mentioned that plenty of comic themed games have to make up their own comics for the game, and this is one of those games. But honestly, I love the art styles used in this game, and it has this clear Captain America ripoff with a guy punching Hitler in the face. And what's not to love about punching Hitler in the face? Age of Comics, The Golden Years, ends on October 19th, so you've got plenty of time to check it out for yourself. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, especially if you actually did watch this, and let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this or other short videos. I'm already working on some suggestions from last time as I speak. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe so you can be sure to be here next time, and I hope to see you then, right here in the Comic Cave.